Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Janis, the host of the Morning Brief on the Wisdom Audio app, and I am the owner and CEO of TrulyYourVA, LLC, and I am also obviously simulcasting through the Wisdom Audio app, and I want to welcome my listeners, excuse me, who are currently on the app. Good morning. Today's Morning Brief chat is more of a question. Do you love what you do? Do you love your business? If you don't, let's have that conversation on business today, on what you love to do and what you don't love to do, and how perhaps maybe you can start a new business. Who knows? As you know, I am a virtual assistant, podcast manager, podcast host, creative project manager, and I love what I do. So much so, obviously, I've created a very unique opportunity for myself. And a lot of times when we have those opportunities, the things that we don't like to do, or the things that maybe we're not good at, and obviously there are some things that I am not good at, and I've often shared quite a few times that in my VA business, for instance, one of the things that I guess I don't like to do, that I don't know how to do, are building funnels. So if you were going to hire me to do a funnel, I wouldn't be able to do that for you. But there are so many other things that I can do for you to help you in project management, research. I also do ghostwriting, which really helps me in so many different respects for my business. Obviously, in my with the podcasts that I host, I love doing show notes. I love doing audiograms. I love editing videos and audio. And that's my jam. So what is your jam? Welcome to the Morning Brief. And today's topic of conversation, of course, do you love what you do? Do you love your business? You know, some of the reasons, there are many different reasons why someone, an online entrepreneur, would want to hire a VA. And did you know that with hiring a VA, you will probably experience, in all likelihood, and I can guarantee this, feel less stressed in your life. Now, how amazing would that be, right? You can increase your business productivity and focus on the core operations of your business. And that allows you that time to really dive into your business and fall in love with it all over again. And again, I want to welcome my listeners on the Wisdom Audio app. And I would welcome the conversation on this morning's Morning Brief on, do you love what you do? We are, these past couple of years, we've had such an amazing, and let's be real, let me just back up a second here. The last few years for everyone pretty much has been a shit show. Let's just be honest. But there are so many amazing things that have also happened within the storm of things happening in our world. Many people have gone on to start, that business maybe that they've been thinking about, and are flourishing in that. And now they're at that point where they want to upscale their business. And how do you even go about doing that? And that is so important to, the other day I was chatting about, making your list, like, of the things that you love to do, the things that you don't like to do, the things that you don't know how to do, and obviously mine is funnels. But the beauty of that is you get to decide how and when you want to work and whom you want to work with. And I've had the amazing opportunity to work with so many amazing clients. And I had a discussion the other day with a new connection in one of my Facebook friends. And he is also an online entrepreneur, he and his wife, and they're both very, very successful. And the commonality that we both came up with is that each of us loves what we do. And I was thinking about that this morning as I was doing my voice memo for today, which I just discovered yesterday. I think I discovered that. And I thought, I love my business. I wonder if anybody loves what they do. And obviously very passionate about what I do and how I do it. And for me, what I do as a VA, a virtual assistant, or, podcast manager, and the many other different things that I do, it's not that I work for you, I work with you. And I think there's a big difference in that type of work ethic for me, obviously, because that's one of the reasons I've been able to organically grow my business. And for instance, I have one of my clients is a postpartum doula. Now, I had my son just about 35 years ago. He'll be 35 in a couple of weeks. And obviously I know what a postpartum doula is, but no clue as to really the depth of what they do. I know what they do, but not the depth. Well, in that type of an instance, I step into that role of my client. So I'm not only working to establish her social media presence, I have to step into her role. So there's a lot that goes into that. And for me, that's what I love about what I do. I'm able to step into that role and get a feeling for how this particular client likes to do their business, being a postpartum doula, finding all those different things that I'm stepping into her role. And that's what I love about what I do. So today's today's discussion, I should say, is, do you love what you do? And I want to welcome all my listeners on the Wisdom app, and would encourage anyone, invite you to come up and chat with me. And let's have this discussion on, do you love what you do? Do you love your business? And actually, if you don't have a business and you are thinking about a business, do you have a business that, maybe perhaps you're thinking of being a VA, or maybe you want to go into a different line of business? What questions would you maybe have for me that I'd be happy to, answer for you? And that's where the magic begins. I can tell you that in my almost next month actually will be 3 or 4 years since I have had my business up and running. And I've made a lot of mistakes, and I am not afraid nor ashamed to say that. We all make mistakes when we start a business. And for me, it was, of course, looking at those critical things that I love to do, looking at those things that I don't like to do. And I talk about funnels a lot. I did tackle that topic quite often, I might add. And that's not just something that I am good at, but I was able to develop myself in such a way. I'm obviously very good at organization. And, I think my 30 plus years of being a paralegal, being able to work under pressure, being able to organize in such a way where people can understand, where my clients understand or their clients understand how to operate in such a way to understand what exactly do I mean by that. So for instance, a lot of projects that I work on are organization type of projects in my creative project management. For instance, my client will say, I've got this stack of papers, I'm just going to email you this huge PDF and just do something with it. Those are the type of projects that I love, because I can go through it, I can organize it. A lot of times it's very detail oriented, where spreadsheets are needed, and also different types. I've worked with obviously different types of attorneys, workers' comp, personal injury. So it's being able to request medical records and review the medical records and prepare summaries. And those are some of the things that I love to do with creative project management. Of course, I love to podcast, 3 podcasts, right? Which I'm always chatting about. And I will be on this afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern time with Rebecca Heaton with the TrulyYourVA podcast. Yesterday, I was on with the Stories That Inspire Us podcast with Christy and Rick Diamond. Amazing couple. They have such an amazing story. That's what I love to do with the podcast, connecting with so many amazing people around the world. And then, of course, when the podcast is over, I love that production time. That's my creative process time. And that's where the magic for me comes in, with doing the show notes, preparing the audiograms. And it's just absolutely amazing. And I love what I do. So welcome to all my listeners on the Wisdom app. I'm so happy to have you here, and welcome back. And I do see some familiar faces. So thank you so much for being here. The question of the day: do you love what you do? And I invite any of you who are on Wisdom right now to come up on the stage and let's have a conversation about what you love to do. Or maybe it's something that you're looking into to do, perhaps starting a business. I'll just give it another moment. We'll see if anyone comes up. We'd love to have a guest up on stage with me. This is the beauty of doing something live, because that's what I love to do. I love to share. I love to share what I'm passionate about. And don't be afraid, like I was for so many years, for not showing up. Show up for yourself. Show up for what you are passionate about. That's what it's all about. I want to thank you all for being here today, and I'll just give it another moment for someone that may want to come up and share their wisdom on what they love to do and how that has affected, of course, your life, where you want your business to go, where you want your personal life to go. Such an amazing time to be an online entrepreneur. I absolutely love what I do. Do you? And oh my gosh, I can talk about podcasting forever and ever. And as I said, I've had some amazing guests on. I wouldn't have been able to meet these people otherwise. And now being, of course, on the Wisdom audio app, I love what I do. This is the Morning Brief with Janis. And thank you so much for the, hey, Daryl, thank you so much for that. I do appreciate that. And we'll welcome the opportunity. If you'd love to come up, I'd love to have this discussion, and I'll just give it another moment for either Daryl or anyone else that may want to chat for a moment on, do you love what you do? this is an amazing topic and really can really give you some ideas on how all this can be possible for you. And I see I do have somebody coming up on stage. Three, two, one. There we go.
Hi, Janice. How are you?
Hey, Daryl. Good morning. How are you? Welcome.
Well, thank you. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm glad you have a 5-minute timer. Yeah, I just wanted to jump up and say hello. I love your morning brief. I think it's a great idea. And I love your enthusiasm about the Wisdom app.
Well, thank you so much. As I've said repeatedly, and sometimes I don't think I say it enough. I mean, it's through these amazing forums that, you can connect with people. And I think for many people like myself, I've shared that, going on video by myself is kind of a scary thing. And I'm like, you know what, I got to put my foot on the gas pedal and just go for it. But to get people started, to be comfortable with that, and to eventually love doing things like this. I mean, gosh, the Wisdom app, coming on audio, social media, you can, have a chat with it literally with people from around the world and be comfortable with that.
Yeah, absolutely. It is awesome. I mean, it's the idea of, finding your, people by just like sort of being that beacon, and then those people kind of find you, and it's just a great resource for being a breeding ground for great podcasts and other launching points from there. I think that social audio also works as a good sort of hub for your just gaining other social media followings and things like that. So yeah, it's funny. It's becoming sort of the nucleus versus sort of like an add-on to social media. It's sort of being the center, I think, for a lot of people that are doing it regularly.
Yeah, you make a very valid point there because, for me, the other day I was chatting, for instance, about the art of the selling. I don't sell. First and foremost, I will not do that. I share what I'm passionate about. And if what I have for quote unquote sale interests somebody, then that is fantastic. That's a byproduct of what I love to do. And that's why, I don't hesitate to offer free consultations. I mean, it's that important for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that one, it's live, which is great, so you can ask your questions in real time, but two, that all of these things are recorded. And now with the Wisdom platform, you have the questions and answers, which put things in smaller little snippets. And so that people can really get to that information that they're really looking for quite quickly, versus having to listen to a Daryl 3-hour talk. So yeah, it's really, there's some really interesting things happening in this space. And I think Dio is really leading the way. And if I could just do a little shameless plug coming up.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, in like 20 minutes, I'll be having my office hours, and I think Dio will be joining me on there to answer some questions about the Ask Me Anything button. So if that helps anybody.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you for letting me know. And you said in just a few minutes, correct?
About 20 minutes, about
Okay.
11 o'clock or so Eastern time.
Okay, that's good to know. So yeah, folks, if you're obviously listening to this now, my listeners, once again, I want to thank you. Daryl will be back on at 11 a.m. And my gosh, I can think of tons of questions, of course. And again, what an amazing way to share what you're passionate about. Like, you are doing a service within a service through a means where anybody can listen in real time and ask a question. I mean, how good is that?
Yeah, it is. I love that, service within a service. Yeah, absolutely. This is a new medium altogether. right? Because you have had Quora and you've had Google Answers and things like that, but to actually have somebody's voice put to the questions, I think is very interesting, and the ability to make these things very shareable. You can ask an influencer and they come back in their real voice. It only takes a minute. It's really easy. I answer a lot of questions very quickly with this. So, but thank you so much, Janis, for having me up here.
You're so welcome.
I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you around the Wisdom Day.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Daryl. So appreciate your insight with that. And I can't wait for that chat today. I'm definitely going to catch that chat because I have some questions which I needed to answer. And, you know, this is Janis on the morning brief. Do you love what you do? I would welcome the opportunity to have anyone else up that may want to chat about what they love to do and share what you're passionate about. This is the forum to do that in such a nonchalant type of way where you're able to perhaps share what you love about your business. And maybe you want to start a business. Maybe, you know, from what Daryl was just chatting about, maybe you will gain some additional information on how you can start a business. Like, who knows? And he's going to have a question and answer session. So, I mean, how good is that? This is the place to ask the question. This is the morning brief. Do you love what you do? And I want to welcome all of my listeners on the Wisdom app and invite you to come up and share what you are passionate about. I see definitely some familiar names, some new ones. So I want to welcome you to the morning brief. I see a holistic health practitioner. Oh my gosh. As some of you may know, I'm also a certified health coach. And that's why Two Sisters, one of my podcasts, by the way, that I co-host with my sister, where we, you know, obviously chat about our love of wellness through fitness and nutrition. I mean, how amazing is that? And some people in the legal community. Oh my gosh, thank you all so much for being here today. And I want to encourage you. I would like to invite you to come up and let's have that discussion. Do you love what you do? Do you want to share what you love to do? I mean, how good would that be? As I mentioned, I am the host of 3 podcasts. Absolutely love it. I just completed the setup of my TrulyYourVA website. I have all of my different packages on there that I'm just really excited about it because obviously I love what I do. Do you love what you do? And I'm just going to give it one more minute. This is the morning brief with Janis. We just had Daryl up. Daryl and I have chatted quite a few times, and we love what we do. And something that Daryl mentioned, which I want to touch upon, that audio social media is really the nucleus now of how in real time you can have that conversation with someone literally from around the world. And let's see here. I just want to make sure that I am seeing everything correctly here. Welcome, everyone. Okay. Well, again, I want to thank you all so much for being here today on the morning brief. I am your host, Janis. Do you love what you do? I would love to hear from you. Please don't hesitate to send me a message through the back channel, or you can, you know, obviously send me a direct message through Facebook, however you need to reach me. I am here. I will be back at 2 p.m. Eastern Time this afternoon for our Truly Your VA podcast with Rebecca Heaton. I am so excited to have her on. It's going to be an amazing conversation. Again, my name is Janis. This is the place to connect in such a way to share what you are passionate about. Thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you later this afternoon. Hey, everybody on Facebook, thank you so much for being here. Again, thank you to my listeners on the Wisdom Audio app. Oh my gosh, 32 listeners. Am I seeing that correctly? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So thank you all so much. I love what I do. Do you love what you do? Put an emoji on the bottom of this live video. Thank you so much. And I will see you back here at 2 o'clock for my podcast with Rebecca. Have a great day, everyone.